That is for your certification purpose.
So when will it come?
You will probably receive it by, post, like a courier. Should take, I
Yes,
think,
sir.
I mean, of course, we still haven't sent it. So probably you'll get it in this week.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, wonderful. So we have three. Oh, yeah, Mr. Vadrajan has joined in another ID. So,
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
okay. Shruti has joined in. Mr. Vadrajan, now we have five, no, rather four. Four of them have joined. Kirti, Neeraj, Pranav,
Okay.
and Shruti. Shruti has joined in now. So do we start, or do I wait for a couple of more minutes?
Uh, I think we'll start. Otherwise, time will be up.
Yeah, yeah.
They can
Cool.
join.
So I was just informing them that this is going to be our last session on this
Yes, yes.
particular course on
Good.
advanced life
Advanced life.
skills. So one of them was asking me that when would they be receiving the certificate? Any information that you'd like to give them?
Oh, yeah. Anyway, during this week, it will be posted maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Okay. You can show them the certificate also.
Yeah,
It's on the table.
Yeah, just give me a second. Sorry, but then I think the light is not very good here around here. I'm so sorry about the video quality.
Okay.
So you
No,
guys,
you switch on both the lights.
one second, just
Both the lights you switch on.
okay. Yeah, much better now. Much better. Okay, yeah.
Oh, yes.
So this is just you. Can you see?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is going to be your certificate, which you will be receiving by courier or post, or how Mr. Vadrajan will
Sir,
decide. Yeah.
Nothing is written in that.
I'm sorry.
Like nothing is written. Like.
Oh, you're seeing the back? Is it here?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. So yes, going forward, not just for now, going forward when you get into your jobs and when you go in for your interviews, you can you can write it on your resume that you have attended advanced life skills course on I'm sorry, advanced course on life skill. Okay, so it will add value to your resume. Then you can also tell them what exactly what were the sessions that we had during the course of this. Okay, just give me one moment. I'll just pull up. You all able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So
you all can start your videos on so that we'll be able to see you. Yes, that's good. All yes.
Cool.
Kirti, you also. Shruti and Kirti. Okay, that's wonderful. Aditya.
Okay, great. So team. So when we talk about personality development, now what exactly is a personality, right? So a man, when I say man, it means not exactly a man or a woman is identified by his personality, which is his public image. Now it is the totality of the person and not merely the external looks, but the character, behavioral traits, and attitude towards life, which defines the personality of a person. Now, in this personality development module, we'll see how we can have the improvement of behavioral traits such as communication skills, interpersonal relationships, attitude towards life, and restoring our ethics. Perfect. So we'll go forward. Now, see, we can divide your personality, or rather, how you can judge your personality is by these three main aspects, which is one is the character traits. When I say about character, I mean to say, well, like I said, initially, some people are introverts, some people are extroverts. I hope you understand the meaning of introvert and an extrovert, right? Now, an introvert is someone who likes to, keep to himself. He likes being at home. He likes, his privacy. An extrovert is someone who likes to meet more people, someone who likes to, who's outgoing, who's outspoken. So that's the difference between an introvert and an extrovert. Of course, that is, it's more of, something that comes when we are born. So usually we can't change much about it, but then of course you need to understand that even as an introvert, you need to interact with people, when you work, when you live in a society, and then or when you work in a company, you need to discuss with your teammates, your seniors, the management, and so on, right? So going by the slide that we have now, so first one is your character traits, and what is your integrity, your acceptance, and your discipline. Okay, and again, which leads to dedication, right? In your behavioral traits, you have what is called as the interpersonal skills, your communication skills, your leadership qualities, and your stress and time management. Okay, now when you make these attitudinal changes, you can get a positive attitude towards your life. You will always be in a win-win situation, in which, when I say a win-win situation, it means you're not only having a positive impact on your life, you are also going to create a positive impact on other people's life around you, right? So keep the end in mind. It is synergize your energies in the positive way. So I have divided personality into 9 types, right? So each one of you will have one or definitely more than one of these personality traits that I'm going to be talking about. The first one is the perfectionist, the second one is the helpers, the third one is the romantics, the fourth one is the achievers, the fifth one is the asserters, questioners, the adventurers, observers, and the peacemakers, right? Now, don't worry, I'm going to be taking up, I'm just going to give you a brief about all 9 types of personalities that we see in our everyday life, right? So, who exactly is a perfectionist? So, perfectionists are realistic, conscious, and they are principled, right? Now, just given an example. Now, please don't go by these. Let me tell you that I have taken the content from another place. So, whatever examples have been given, they're not my examples, right? So now we have who are called as the helpers. Now, okay, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention. So you all agree, right? So Mr. Narayan Murthy is an perfectionist. Now, if he had to build an Infosys, during the 90s, Infosys started off as a small web development company in a small garage in Pune. And of course, then later on, it shifted to Bangalore. And now I'm sure most of you might have seen the Infosys campus when you are on the way, from towards Hosur, Bangalore to Hosur. When we, see the electronic city on the right side, the big building, which it's a beautiful building, which is the headquarters of Infosys, right? Now, he did build that from scratch. That is because of his perfectionist attitude that he was able to create the brand called Infosys, right? Now, helpers are warm, they're concerned, they're nurturing, and they're sensitive to other people's needs. Okay. So the example that they've given is that of Mother Teresa. But of course, there are a lot of people that we see in our everyday life, who make a change towards the society and help other people, right? Now, let's come to achievers. Achievers are energetic, optimistic, self-assured, and goal-oriented. Right now, for that example, they've given it as Sachin Tendulkar, the greatest cricketer of probably the previous generation. Now, I don't know, probably you guys might have different opinions on that. Probably some may say Virat Kohli and then Rohit Sharma, and then I mean that's up to you. Whoever you take as an achiever, you can take them as an example, keep them as your role model, so that it inspires you to achieve what they have achieved, right? Just give me a second. I think couple of people are oh, okay.
Waiting.
Right. Sorry, I just saw that there were a couple of messages. I think we just ignore that for now, right? The romantics, they have the sensitive feeling. They are warm people and they are perceptive, right? The example is MF Hussain, a great Indian painter. Now, I don't know how many of you might have heard of him. He's a pretty old man. He was very famous during the 80s and 90s. You can Google him up later after the session, right? Observers. Now, observers have a need for knowledge and are introverted, curious, analytical, and insightful. Okay, so the example taken is Amartya Sen. He's a great economist, right? Just give me a second. I'm so sorry. Right. So we have the next quality would be the ones who are the questioners. They are responsible and trustworthy. Who are the questioners? Who question the day-to-day activities in the society, who question the government, who question what happens, what kind of environment you have in your school and colleges and so on, right? Now we have what we call as the adventurers. Adventurers, they are energetic, lively, and optimistic, and they want to contribute to the world. Now, here the example says Vijay Mallya, who's a NRA businessman. Of course, it's a very outward and a controversial statement to be making, especially right now. Okay, so you can just avoid that for now, right? And the asserters. Asserters are direct, self-reliant, self-confident, and protective. So example is Mr. T.N. Seshan, who's the Chief Election Commissioner. Rather, he's an ex-Chief Election Commissioner. And finally, we are going to be talking about the peacemakers. Now, peacemakers are receptive, good-natured, and supportive. Now, they seek union with others and the world around them. The example given Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee. So I hope you all know Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee. He's the ex-Prime Minister of India. I think it was between the 90 and I think 97 or 98. He was a Prime Minister on 2 terms. Okay, he was one of the. I would rate him as one of the best prime ministers our country has ever seen. Right? Okay. Now, how exactly can a good personality help you? Now, it can help you in the following ways. Now, to learn the business etiquette of exchanging cards, wishing on the first meeting, bowing when you're visiting Japan, and the likes, right? So we have different cultures around the world. In India, we usually have a namaste. Now we say namaskar, right? Now in Japan, it's a bow. They usually bow and then they greet other people, right? And of course, in today's world, we usually have a handshake. But of course, considering the pandemic situation that we all are going through right now, we usually avoid a handshake, right? So of course, that's it keeps changing from time to time, right? Now, voice modulation. Now, you all know what is the meaning of voice modulation, right? Now, like I said, a voice modulation is basically like when you're happy, your tone of your voice is pretty high. When you're sad, it's pretty low. When you are conveying a sad incident, it's usually in a mid tone. So that is called voice modulation, right? The diction is basically how well you pronounce each word when you're talking to another person. Some of us are good at diction, some of us do have some problems because of there are many reasons. Usually what is the most common aspect of addiction is a mother tongue influence. When I say mother tongue influence, now most of us have different mother tongues, right? Now I'm a Kannadiga, and I'm sure each one of you have maybe you're a Tamilian, you're a Malayali, you speak Hindi at home and so on. Like usually people from Kerala, the Malayalis, have a very strong accent. They get that Kerala accent which is instilled upon them, where starting very early in their lives. So whenever I see out of 9 out of 10 people usually have a very strong Malayali accent even when they speak English. That's what we mean when we talk about addiction, right? We all know what is a communication skill. Now we all know what is a phone etiquette, right? So phone etiquette is basically greeting someone where as soon as they pick up the phone, inquiring about their good being, right? So and so on. Now, of course, we're going to be talking about a good hygiene, empowerment skills, time management skills, and positive thinking, right? Now, to cultivate a friendly and interactive manner, essential like giving a speech, voice development, and modulation of voice are very important. Now, it enhances the self confidence and self worth of a person, right? Now, let's come to what is a body language. Now, body language communicates much more than words. You all understand that, right? Usually, whenever we have interaction with anybody, we are usually more confident when we speak the truth, and less confident, or we usually tend to stammer when we are not, right? Now, this is what is called as a body language. Now, body language signals are called leakages because you may try to tell something, but the truth will leak out visually. So at times you might have noticed that at certain times when you know that people are lying, or probably when they're manipulating the truth, usually you can make out by the body language of that particular person, right? Fine. Now, what are the kind of body languages that you should avoid, right? Now, whenever in your, of course, here we're not talking about, when you're sitting in your home, when you're sitting in the comfort of your, sofas, and, whenever you're at home, you can chill out and not worry. But then here we are talking about a business environment. And in a business environment, you should usually avoid crossed arms or legs. We all, I mean, at least most of us do have the habit of crossing our legs, right? Whenever we sit, which is not a very good attitude to have in a business environment. Crossed arms as well. We usually cross our arms across our chest, right? Now, that is not a very good, body language. Now, carrying books or papers across your chest. Now, this is something I personally have noticed that girls usually end up doing that. It's a, during school and colleges, it's fine, but then going forward, whenever you, start your career, it's not a very good body language that comes across from that person, and a slumped posture. What exactly is a slumped posture? When I say when you have an erect posture, it means you stand straight. And when you talk about a slump posture, it means you have a carrier, your shoulders drooping towards one side, or your head is tilted towards the another side. So this is called as a slump posture. So you need to have an erect posture. You need to stand straight. You need to sit straight, right? Now, sitting perched on the edge of the chair, like you need to sit comfortably towards the end of the chair. Make sure you need to show that you're confident, and then sit straight on your chairs, right? Wringing of hands. So basically, I'm sure you all must have noticed that whenever we have a conversation with someone, we usually keep fiddling with our hands, right? And we keep clearing the knuckles on our hands, or playing with our fingers, doing all sorts of things with our hands, which is not a very good aspect of a person, right? Tapping of foot. I'm sure most of you have that habit, or at least some of us. Rocking of legs, or when we say rocking of legs, it means movement, just doing that things about on your legs. Drumming fingers. Now, this is an aspect that I have myself, right? I have the habit of sitting and going and doing, I keep doing that most of the time, even during my office hours, which is not a very good thing. Of course, I understand. I'm trying to change that myself, right? And some of you, I'm sure, have the habit of biting your nails, right? Of course, it looks very, it gives a very negative vibe or a very negative body language. And secondly, personally, I would like to tell you that it is actually a very unhygienic habit, right? You know how much dirt and dust and what all things are going to be there in your nails, right? So do avoid such body language. Perfect. Right. Now, let's come to leadership qualities. Now, each one of us, at some point in time, we'll have to take up leadership. We'll have people who work under us, and we need to know how we control them and how we are able to get the best out of the people whom we work with. Right now, how exactly can you, what are the best qualities of leadership? Now, courage. You need to be confident and you need to communicate whatever plans you have in a very effective manner, so that you can so that the people, or rather your subordinates, know that your confidence will instill that particular confidence upon them, right? Now you need to have self control, a keen sense of justice and fairness, right? You all know that when say you have 10 people working under you, it's but obvious that there are going to be issues, there are going to be conflicts between two or more people. So you need to know, you need to have a keen sense of justice and fairness. You need to know how to sort it out, right? So definiteness of plans. Now, what exactly by do we mean by that? It means you need to be clear about what exactly you want from your subordinates. You need to know how. If you need to know, if you know what exactly you want or what exactly is your plan, it'll be easy to get the job done by your subordinates. Now, this is a very important aspect: the habit of doing more than what you're being paid for, right? A pleasing personality. You need to be sympathetic and understanding. Of course, if you're the boss, you know that we all go through hardships in our lives. So you need to have the sympathy and understanding, right, to gain the trust of your people around you. The mastery of details, right? And the next one is willingness to assume full responsibility. Now if you don't take up the responsibility, your subordinates will not take it up. Why would they take it up? Because you're the boss. You need to show the responsibility, and so that they feel, you instill that confidence upon them. And of course, the final thing is cooperation. So we all know what cooperation is, right? So in this world, we all need to work together. We need to work as a team, and then we need to cooperate with each other. Great. So let's come into the personal qualities. Now you need to be accurate, adaptable, astute, can work under pressure, careful, committed, competent, cooperative, and courteous. Right? You know what is accurate? Accurate is being sure of what we do, right? And adaptable. You know what is adaptable? You need to adapt to every situation that we come across. And what exactly do we mean by astute? Right? Astute is being good at judging people and situations. Now, whatever the situation might be, you need to judge whether whether a person is telling you the truth, whether you're able to judge what kind of content that he is giving you. Right? Now, we all know that what we mean by work under pressure, right? We all do going to face pressure at some point in life. Possibly, when you have an assignment or you have some project to complete, and then there are deadlines. So you need to know how to manage your time and work under pressure. So you need to be careful. When I say careful, you need to avoid making too many mistakes or minimize the number of mistakes that we make. You're committed. So you need to show commitment in whatever you do, right? You need to be competent. Okay, so what is the competent, right? So whenever we have a race, so the person who's most competent usually wins the race. That's what we say, right? So you need to be cooperative and courteous. Courteous is being sweet. You need to understand what other people are going through so that you respond accordingly. Right. Now you also need to be decisive, right? You need to take the right decisions. Okay, you need to be dedicated, which we all know. We need to be energetic, right? So I don't need to explain much about this. Methodical. Now when I say methodical, it means you're well planned. Meticulous, so you do it on time, right? Orderly, so you do it well. You're organized, of course, means almost the same thing, right? You need to be positive and practical, right? Of course, when I say practical, we know whenever we make our plans, or rather whenever we have any life goals, we need to be practical and think about it. Right now, I'm roughly about 35 years today. Now I can't have a plan of becoming an astronaut or a pilot and so on. Right? It's not practical. But then, of course, I can plan of how I can improve myself in the position in my workplace, so that I could get a good promotion, how I could get a good hike, and so on. That's how I can be practical. Right now, you need to be an extrovert. When I say extrovert, you need to unfortunately, it's the truth of life that we need to interact with people, we need to meet people, and the more people you meet, the more you learn. Right? You need to be flexible. Okay, so we have the last 10 minutes is what it says, so let's finish as quickly as possible. Right? You need to be flexible, and of course you need to be friendly. We all know, I'm sure you all know what being friendly is. Okay, you get on well with other people, you're a good communicator, you have a good sense of humor, good timekeeping, hardworking, and imaginative. Right? So most of these are pretty much self-explanatory, but these are the important points that you need to know to have a good body language. So you need to be an independent worker, lively, logical, loyal, self-confident, self-motivated, sensitive, thorough, thoughtful, vigilant, and you work well with others. Right? So we've come to the end of today's session, and I would like to thank all of you who are part of our course on advanced life skills. Now, Mr. Vadrajan, if you're there, you
Yes,
could take over,
yes,
and
yes.
if you have anything to say to the
Yeah.
the kids, then yeah, we can wind up. Anyway, thank you, team. It
Oh,
was great, being part of this session. You guys have my number. It's there on the group as Aditya. So anything you need, anything going forward, rather I'm not talking about now. You need any guidance in life, you can always get in touch with me. If you have any doubts in life, if you want any help, you can always get in touch with Mr. Varadrajan and me. Okay, cool then. Yes, Mr. Varadrajan, you can take
oh,
over.
okay. Thank you so much, Aditya. Yeah, it's a very good presentation. In fact, I also recollected, I enjoyed the way you express things. I hope, my dear young students, you enjoyed. You enjoyed the course on life skill.
Yes,
We
sir.
talked about communication. We talked about various aspects of our life skills in the last 6 to 8 weeks. And today is the personality development, which is a composition of what all we discussed, whether it is time management, whether it is communication, like that. It's all grouped together. And then that's thing we spoke. Aditya gave you enough examples and guidelines, all those things. So just to conclude, I wish to give a small tip on some do's. Number one is increase your confidence in whatever you do. You have to build your confidence. Okay. Then try to achieve something or other. Once you start achieving, no, it gives a self motivation. You have a burning desire to achieve more. Okay. That's what you have to improve. And you're all students, youngsters. Try to enjoy life. Okay, that is very important. We will not get the joy by just waiting for it. We have to, whatever situation, you have to enjoy the life. Okay, that you try to build. Okay, then always think positive. Never think about what you cannot do. Don't be lazy, all those things. You have to be thinking positive about what you can do, what your competence, all those things, and you have to do whatever that you do, enjoy doing it. That is very important. Whether you go forward for playing, you should enjoy doing playing, whatever you play. Okay. Otherwise, when you are playing, you should not think, oh, I have not done my homework. Oh, my mom will scold me if I go late or like that. Okay. But whatever you do, if it is studies, you concentrate on studies. If it is playing, you concentrate on playing, and try to do the best in whatever you do. Okay. And one thing, last small quote I'll give you: small thing leads to perfection. And definitely perfection is not a small thing. You agree, na? Like that? Enjoy your life. We'll send you the certificate as soon as possible. Hopefully by tomorrow, day after tomorrow, we'll send you the certificate.
Yes.
Use the certificate, and whatever you have learned from Aditya, put into practice. That is more important, not just for listening and living it. Okay. These are all something what is not taught in the schools and colleges. This is you have to put into practice. Okay. All the best, guys. Do enjoy
Thank you,
your
sir.
life, and
Thank
we'll
you.
whenever there is a course on different subjects, we'll call you, we'll intimate you. Whenever you are free, whenever you are willing, you can join. Okay. Thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much. Best wishes. All the best. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Aditya.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Take care, boys. Have a nice Sunday. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, teachers. Bye, teachers.
Bye bye. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.